Hey guys, this is Abhishek from Gadgets.com, and today we have Mr. Vikas Jain, who is co-founder of Micromax. And so we have a couple of questions around Micromax product and strategy, especially around India. What kind of products which we can expect in future? Especially, I think April is going to be a very busy month from Micromax, from what I believe as per some of the indications. So if you can tell us something about what kind of products we can expect, what kind of pricing we can expect those products which will come from Micromax in the month of April or in future.
See Abhishek, from a brand perspective, we'll continue to evolve in the feature phone and the smartphone space. Obviously, the numbers in the smartphone are going much faster for the industry, and for Micromax also aligned with the industry, the numbers should grow faster on the smartphone space. But at the same time, feature phone remains a key segment for Micromax. In fact, if I believe right, as per the last media reports I received just yesterday, Micromax today is the 4th largest feature phone brand in the world. So we'll continue to evolve into the feature phone and the smartphone space, and as far as the other product categories goes, the tablets and the dongles also will see more new products coming in. Talking about largely smartphones, yes, we are looking at moving the bar a little further. Just gone through the launch of Canvas Night, which is an octa-core chipset based solution we launched in India. Got some fantastic reviews from the end consumers. That's what excites us. The consumers have been really been able to take the device and appreciate what the device is delivering. I think that's the kind of feedback we look at. That's what motivates us at Micromax. And today, as we stand at the cusp of technology where 3G is getting stabilized and we're talking about 4G coming in, I think as soon as we get a commercially slightly more deployed 4G network, you should be seeing 4G smartphones as well from Micromax.
Okay. So talking about the latest innovation which I have seen in CES 2014, the Micromax laptop. So that product again, we have some news coming from Microsoft and Google that they don't want to see devices which is running on Android as well as Windows side by side. And again, laptop is one such that device which actually runs both of these in one single machine. So can we expect a future, especially for the Micromax laptop in India, in future, can we expect to see that device?
See, most of our product portfolio is not designed in our boardrooms, but is designed basis the feedback received from the end consumer. We've always tried to remove the boundaries for our end consumer, and today, as tablet becomes a very preferred form factor, one of the limitation or one of the hitches which was coming in from the end consumer was it was good for data consumption or an entertainment perspective, but lacked in terms of computing capabilities. So, putting a Windows and an Android put together, we've tried to work or we've tried to walk into the lifestyle of our end consumer, wherein we are able to provide a single device which works both on his entertainment as well as computing requirements. And we remain excited about the product, we remain excited about the concept, and I think at Micromax we would look at trying similar things in different screen formats and hence different product verticals. It could be a tablet, it could be a smartphone, but yes, we remain inclined to bring more of such devices.
Okay. So especially about when you say that these kind of a form factor with these kind of a scenario in which you have Windows as well as Android both, will not only be limited to laptop, but it will come to some other devices as well. Okay, so can we expect to, again, this might be a very forward question or very futuristic question, but can we expect the same kind of scenario maybe in future in a smartphone which comes from Micromax?
We are looking at developing something similar, but then you will also appreciate, Abhishek, at R&D we do multiple things which might not become commercially viable for a possible launch. So whether the devices would end up being commercially put into the market, that's something I probably would be able to answer as we develop a more mature product and then see the target segment for which we want to launch it.
Okay, so talking about the latest chipset, again we see a lot of Micromax phones coming with the MediaTek chipset, and the latest chipset which is the latest entry into the Indian market is the MediaTek 6591. Again, that chipset is not commercially available in any of the hardware from any of the OEM, but when can we expect that kind of a hardware coming in a Micromax phone, maybe by next month or somewhere in future?
Yeah, so at Micromax, what we did was we provided more strategic intake onto the octa-core. So we got the Canvas Night released much before the hexa-core or the 6591 could have been released. And as 6591 solution becomes more stable and is offered on the commercial shipment by MediaTek, we'll be looking at launching that device. Hopefully, I think our R&D on the 6591 or the hexa-core chipset is also through, and we should be able to bring the device as soon as let's say 60 days from the time MediaTek commercializes the chipset.
Okay, so especially about the current lineup which we have, the latest product which comes from Micromax is the Canvas 9.
Yeah.
And I have experienced the device. I really like that product. So especially with that product, what kind of promotion you are actually doing, especially so that all the Indian audience can actually recognize that this is a very good device in terms of the build quality, in terms of the hardware it has, and in terms of day-to-day usage. How are you promoting that particular thing about that device?
So I think the biggest promotion that is working for us on the Canvas Night has been the word of mouth. People who've bought it from the Micromax store have just been raving about the product. I think that's the best, let's say, promotion that I can do for the product. Over and above that, the product will be there in the with the marketing team to build up a marketing plan and to go about educating the end consumer about the prowess of an 8-core chipset versus probably what is available on the dual cores and the quad cores. So I think that will be part of the general communication strategy of the company.
Okay, so especially when it comes to the price segment which we see from Micromax when it comes to flagship products, it is right now limited to a price of approximately 20,000 rupees. So in future we will see some 4G devices as well again, I think. So what kind of price range we can expect for the 4G smartphones which come from Micromax, and what will be the overall focusing you can say market in terms of the price segment you are looking for the 4G devices which you will launch?
So I think the 4G ecosystem is slightly fragmented as we talk. 6 months back we were talking only about a single band 2300 megahertz onto LTE TDD, and then post the auctions which culminated about 2 months back, we have LTE FDD on the 1800 megahertz band as well. As I talk to my carrier partners, there is a possibility of about 850 megahertz also being launched onto the LTE. So once we become clear about the implementation plan of the 4G, it will be more prudent for me to put a price to the product. However, I believe the traction for that technology will be great if we can work on a delta of let's say 1000 to 1500 rupees over a like-to-like 3G product. So if a same spec 3G product is available let's say at 10,000 rupees, then if the 4G product can come at about 11.5 or 12,000 rupees, that's where the traction for 4G will come in.
So we can expect some affordable devices, especially when it comes to 4G devices as well for Micromax.
The market will move into a momentum only if the affordability is there. Indian consumer is very evolved. He's not looking at a cheap handset, but he's so evolved that he understands he's looking at an affordable handset. So will the cheapest priced 4G handset sell the highest? The answer is no. Will the best priced 4G handset sell well? The answer is yes.
So Canvas Night as a device is a little bit resistant to water. So resistant to water does not mean that you can actually dip the phone and it will keep on working, but it is actually resistant to a splash of water. And we have seen that in some of the videos. So especially about this kind of scenario, the water resistant device or a waterproof device, can we expect to have a phone like Micromax Canvas Night in future, which will be water resistant and waterproof as well to a great extent?
See, if my target TG, my set of consumers want the waterproof phone, I can assure you that at the brand we will be working towards waterproof phone. However, just to sell a technology of waterproofing the mobile phone, will I charge my consumer an extra amount of money? The answer is no. So if my consumer wants it, we would be delivering him at the right price. However, just to prove my technology, I would not ask a price to my consumer.
Okay. So thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.